Welcome to Mando and Friends, presented by Verizon. My name is Mando Fresco, and today I am with a OG buddy of mine. We've hung out a few times on the carpet at events and stuff like that. It's fun to finally see you here at Hubwave on Mando and Friends. Actress, singer, multi-talented Isabela Merced. How are you, Isabela?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. You got a nice little spot here downtown LA. I like it.
It's a vibe.
It smells really good in the lobby.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know what you sprayed or what candle you used, but I'm gonna need the name of it later. I was like, when I walked in.
It's this fusion between Fabuloso and chamomile.
I'm dead. It's that Fabuloso.
Fabuloso, chamomile, and lavender. That's what it was.
Lavender. Okay, I'll go back out there and see if you're right about that.
I saw they had some flowers here. Are those your favorite?
Those flowers?
Yeah.
Those flowers, I don't know if I have like a favorite, but those are definitely one of the top ones. I think that looks like lavender, right? What is that?
I don't know.
I'm kind of blind. I need glasses.
I thought, yeah, well, your team brought it, and I thought it was a beautiful thing to.
That's really sweet, you guys. Thank you.
Into the space for a vibe.
Yeah, I don't know who supplied the snacks. Did you supply the snacks?
That was your squad.
God,
we're actually really
amazing.
You should come here more often, actually.
Damn.
Hooking up with the snacks.
I know. I need more snacks.
Yeah, no. Speaking of favorite things, you're one of my favorites to follow on social media.
Aw, nice.
And
Thank you.
I know I said earlier, multi-talented. You, man, like if you're not on the big screen, you're putting out music. Working on music now.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go into what you have going on now on the music side, I would love to hear like when you initially wanted to work, in music, in the music industry. When you got that itch to be in entertainment. Do you remember that?
Really, like, it was since birth, really. I just kind of started singing. I was one of those babies that like would sleep throughout the night, wake up and start singing. And I would set my stuffed animals up in the crib, like singing to them like they were an audience. Listen, I can't recall this. I can't really remember anything before the age of 6, but this is like according to my parents. And I remember just singing is really fun for me, and it's really easy, and like sometimes I'll do it subconsciously. So it was something that felt really natural, and singing and acting kind of came hand in hand because people keep asking me like, if you could choose one or the other, what would you do? And I'm like, both, right? Like I started in musical theater, so I want to do both and do it all.
Yeah. We've had a good amount of actors and singers that have been on Mando and Friends, and I feel like that's what I hear very often is people usually tell you should pick one, right? Which is like, no, you should mind your own business. That's what you should do, right?
Right. I'm sorry you can't multitask, but I can.
So you started really young. You were like 10 years old when you were on Broadway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. It's just like it felt really normal when that happened, but now I'm looking back, I'm like, 10 is so young.
Yeah.
Like I was just working. I was working at 10. That's crazy to me. It felt fine though. It's not like my mom was like stage mommy, like, you have to live my dreams and I'm living them through you. My mom doesn't care about that, but I'm surprised, like looking back, now I'm like, wow, that's a really young age, even though I felt like I was fully capable.
I mean, I wasn't 10 when I started in radio, but I was 18.
18.
And I was still like, it's the youngest I was at Power 106.
Nice. I mean, that's a huge
the youngest in Power 106 history. And I think back too, and I'm like, man, they really let an 18-year-old on the radio like that, just like on the loose.
Right, like the most chaotic age, I feel like, is 18.
Like, why?
That's crazy. It has some simpatia charisma or something. I don't know. They must have known. They were like, this kid's meant for this. And I hope I'm meant for this. I think I am.
Of course you are.
Yeah, it feels natural to me. And it doesn't feel like a job unless I'm waking up at 7 a.m. Then it's like, please.
That was our squad today.
Yeah.
5 a.m., right?
5 a.m. Sometimes for like set too, I gotta wake up early, and that's just not natural for me. So that's like the singer songwriter in me is like, I want to be up till 5 a.m. And then the actor in me is like, Yeah, no, I think I just want to be up till 5 a.m. I wish we were all like, I wish we'd all switch our circadian rhythms and become nocturnal.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would suit my lifestyle a little better.
Yeah, there should be like, I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
There should be
Me too.
more 24-hour places.
I just feel like my IQ drops in the daytime. And then suddenly when it's like 2 a.m., I'm all of a sudden awake and ready to go. And I'm like, let's talk about philosophy, you guys. Like, let's talk about life and death. And like just crazy shit that I can't, like, it just doesn't work in the daytime.
Yeah. So, you being a night owl, I feel like most musicians are. Like most artists are.
Definitely.
Is that,
I don't know what it is.
Is that when you're like creating music? Is that when you're writing? Is that when you're hitting the studio?
Yeah. Or like, I don't know. There's this like period right before I go to bed and I'm like kind of delirious and kind of feeling chaotic, but I could also just fall asleep al instante, al toque. And I just kind of, I start getting all these ideas because I'm in a drowsy place and it just kind of comes naturally because like inhibitions are lowered and I start thinking about, I don't know, things that have been on my mind recently. And that's when I'm like, I gotta grab my phone. I gotta write this down because I know I'll forget it in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of my favorite time to write.
So speaking of music, you have this new project that you're working on now. You have a new song, Agonia.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good one. I think it's new for me to explore that side of my music, and then it's a collaboration. Really, I think I did this with my friend Guy Fex, who's a Peruvian producer, and I met him a while ago. But he really showed me this new side of what I've been trying to do, but I couldn't really capture it and its essence in LA because there's not a lot of Peruvians here. There's a lot of Mexicans, but not a lot of Peruvians. And like people like Kaifex, he just loves and admires the culture as much as I do, probably more because I mean like he's the one who showed me these poems in Quechua translated to Spanish, and then this story called La Agonía de Razuniti, and it's by this famous Peruvian author. My bad. Peruvian author, and that resonated heavily with me, and from there Agonia was born, and it's for his project called Atipanacui, and it's in homenaje a la danza de las tijeras, and that's a huge like cultural tradition in Peru. These dancers, you should look it up when you have the time. Danza de las tijeras, it's an incredible dance with a lot of movement and like a lot of multitasking, and these dancers train from the age of 10. Wow. In order to like dance this style of dance, and the music sounds incredible. And you can, if you listen to Agonia and you listen or watch Danza de las Tijeras, you can see the similarities in the style and like that kind of noise that's in the background of Agonia throughout the whole song. You have this
song as a tribute to Peru.
Yeah, in many ways. Yeah, for sure.
How so?
Ooh, well, I mean, not only is it based off of a story by a Peruvian author, it's also based off of, well, I mean, let's start like breaking it down a little bit. All the instruments in it are Peruvian and Peruvian inspired. The violin is in there too. And if you listen to a lot of classic kind of like Peruvian music, they incorporate the violin a lot, as well as the melodies. I was inspired by this Peruvian singer who was like the first to really break through in the United States and really sell like a lot of records globally. And her name was Ima Sumac. And if you listen to her, she's known for her vocal range and her ability to sing super duper high and super duper low. And she did this version of El Condor Pasa where she imitated the flutes, the Peruvian flutes. And she was singing instead of do 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 do. You guys might know the Simon and Garfunkel version, but she sung it all the way up there with the flute, and it was the most beautiful thing. And I was like, wow, I mean, why can't we imitate these kinds of sounds and distort them slightly or include them in main melodies like she does? And so because of that, I kind of incorporated those higher melodies into Agonia. And then with the letters, I mean, la letra, but it's actually in English, it's the lyrics.
Sí, la letra, the lyrics. It's like when you direct translate sometimes. It's not the same, but yeah.
I'm like, wait.
I get you.
With the words, lyrics, I just simply like incorporating bilingual into everything. Like English and Spanish is my favorite thing to do. It's so different, and I've been trying to do it since 2015. And I went to this big, huge, like head of a label, big Latin label, and I showed them some of my music, and they were like, this will never work. You can't sing in English and Spanish. My music is like 2015. And I was like, I think it does, but I mean, like, okay, I guess. No need to stick around with you guys, I guess. But they were so adamant that it wouldn't work. And then a year later, Despacito came out. And I'm like, and they're like, yeah, you should do this. And all of a sudden, more artists are singing bilingual. And I'm like, it really took a white guy singing in English and Spanish for y'all to listen and see that it works. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he was the first to do it, but I feel like that was a huge movement because he did it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of American artists now singing in Spanish too.
Yeah.
In the last couple, I mean, like Drake has sang in Spanish.
Yeah, he
did. The Weeknd.
The Weeknd literally sounds
Canadian,
like Romeo Santos.
Right? Yo, I've always said that. That the Weeknd, if he sang in Spanish, and I don't know if we've recorded like Hubwave News pieces where I've said the Weeknd and Romeo should like do a duet. Like those guys' falsettos are very similar, and a Canadian artist is singing bachata.
Crazy.
With a Spanish artist, and bachata being a Dominican genre.
Right.
So it's just like it's kind of all interconnected and intertwined right now. But I think it's a beautiful thing.
I think so too. And another fun thing to add to that, I heard like some unreleased songs that Maluma did in English, and like for some reason his accent didn't exist in that version. I was like, is he lying? Like, I don't know, but I'm like, this man probably speaks English, because the way he was enunciating every word, I believe that he spoke English. But not only did I believe that, I thought it was Drake.
Wow.
I thought it was Drake. So like, I feel like Maluma also sounds like Drake, but like when he sings in English. Crazy.
That is.
I hope they release some of that, because it was really good. I really enjoyed
was it a collab, or was it just like Maluma in English?
It was a collaboration between him. Oh, you mean a collab? No, it was just Maluma in English.
It was Maluma in English
with some producers who work with, I guess, like Bruno Mars. And,
oh, nice.
And we were just hanging out writing, and they started playing it, and I was like, what? And this was a while ago too, so I don't know if they're gonna release it, but it was fire.
Was he rapping?
No, he was just saying, I'm dead. Was he rapping? Is that why he sounds like Drake? No, I'm dead. Because, I mean, yeah, his English was really good in that. So, who knows?
Do you have a wish list of collaborations?
A wish list? I certainly do.
What's like top three that you would like to work with?
I would love to collaborate with Rosalia, because, I mean, she's just phenomenal. And then, I mean, like, I have so many artists I have to go on my phone to see, because I admire so many people. I really thoroughly do enjoy like R&B though. Yeah. And there's a newer R&B artist. Her name is Alaina Castillo. Yes. And she's like really good, and she's doing what I love, right? It's like that fusion between R&B and Latin music. And I'd like to explore that more. And I hopefully have a new single on the way that was already kind of leaning in that direction. And, it's a love song, and I'm hoping to release it soon. But I'd also like to collaborate with H.L. He's a Peruvian rapper, in case for those of you who didn't know. But he's super dope, and I like what he's doing.
There are many things that I was, because I'm saying this as a disclaimer, because I was initially going to say, you know what I love about you. There are many things that I love about you.
Thank you.
One thing is that your team brings snacks.
Right, that's so good. You guys are so good. You hear that?
The second thing is that you do your homework when it comes to music. You're not just like someone that is hopping on this like music train, is hopping on bandwagon, like, oh, I love this genre, or I'm gonna, just do reggaeton, or I'm gonna do, whatever's hot at the moment. Like you do your homework, and you can sing. And I told you this before the cameras were even on. I remember, I think this was like during quarantine. You sang a song called Perfidia.
Perfidia.
You killed that.
Thank you.
You killed that. Like,
thank you.
I remember I favored it. Like, I was like,
wow.
Yo, Isa can sing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Was that you? You were playing the piano too?
I was playing the piano. Yeah, I love playing the piano. I love playing the uke. I guess I'm kind of being shy about my music. I'm in a place where the thing is, I have so many styles of music that I've written in. I have boleros, I have like R&B, I have even more trap leaning music, and it's like a bunch of stuff, because I simply get bored and I like to try new things. Yeah. And I guess I'm like, in some way I'm hesitant because I feel like, yes, you have to kind of have a direction as an artist, especially when you're starting off. But then also I'm like, it is kind of crazy and different, but maybe that's who I am, right? It's like, maybe that's, I just can't decide exactly what I want. I just want to try different things and because I enjoy it. And I've just had wonderful experiences making these, and I hope one day I can release it. Like, the urge to play it right now is overwhelming.
Yeah. Can you do a little bit of Perfidia for us? Do you remember the lyrics?
Yeah, of course.
Yo, because Fred, let me tell you, she kills it. And if you haven't seen, I mean, just, he's gonna sing a little bit right now, but if you haven't watched Isabela sing, go check out her IG, go through some of the videos. Like, this girl can sing, like, for real. And that's why, I wanted to have you on, because you're a real talent. Like, it's not, just like a gimmick. I think
I agree with you, because, like, in a sense of, like, there are a lot of gimmicks out there. I feel like people do just kind of realize, like, okay, I have a platform. Let me just try to monetize and start singing and have just a bunch of people write for me, have no direction, but, like, I have a label, so let me just release music, right? So it's like, I understand. And it does get annoying, yet, I feel like real recognizes real. And, like, at the end of the day, I have friends who are artists who are so, you know what, it is frustrating though, because it's like, they're so talented. Like, my friend Maya, she's incredible. And Omar Apollo is definitely up and coming, but, like, for a while he wasn't. And I was like, damn, like, I wish people would appreciate true talent a little more, a lot more. But yeah. I hope I can be as amazingly sure of myself as an artist as they are one day, They're really talented people, and I always try to mention them because they're so dope and sick. And my friend Holden Sutton, he's got new music out too, and by the time this comes out, he'll probably have his album out. It's called Swan, and it made me cry. My friends are incredible.
Wow. And it's good to be surrounded by creatives, people that, like, push you, and people that you can push yourself.
Yeah, super passionate people. It's infectious. It's contagious for sure.
So can you do a little bit of Perfidia for us?
I'm like, what's the starting note? I don't know, but Mujer, si puedes tú con Dios hablar, pregúntale si yo alguna vez te he dejado de adorar. Y al mar, espejo de mi corazón, las veces que me has visto llorar, la perfidia de tu amor, amor.
Are you kidding me, bro? Yo, Isabela, I'm not even going to lie to you. When I heard you sing that on your IG, I had chills too.
Oh, thank you.
That's crazy.
Like, it's something about the tone that you hit, like that like makes people feel
Interesting.
and that's a gift.
Thank you.
For real. So I want you to, leaving today, I want you to just, I know you said, you want to be as comfortable and confident, as other artists. Like, you have it. You have it. I've been in the industry. I started, when I was 18 years old, 15 plus years. And I've seen artists come and go and come and stay, and definitely you're here to stay.
Awesome. I hope so. I really do love what I'm doing. And honestly, I'm trying to just keep doing what I love, because the more I live, the more I realize, like, we all die, right? Yep. So it's like, you never know when your time is coming. You have no control. So you might as well just do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Just hit him in the head.
Sorry. We have a fluffy helmet for him, just in case that happened. I wanna talk about how you're also inspiring a lot of Latinos, Latinx culture, seeing that, because representation is really important, and you being a prime example of that. And what I love too is how you embrace the American side, your Latina side. We had Becky G on the show,
Awesome. Yeah, I did her show briefly recently.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
she's awesome. I love Becky.
We made ceviche, or she made, what did she make? She made like her Mexican ceviche, and I made the Peruvian ceviche, and we like switched and like tried each other's, and it was really fun.
All right. Now, I'm a foodie, right?
Right.
We're going to take a quick little detour here. I love Mexican ceviche. My family's from Mexico. I think it's the best.
Period.
But the bestest
The bestest.
is Peruvian ceviche.
There's something about that leche de tigre and like the way they combine like the sweet potato with the corn, like that kind of
The
corn.
hominy.
Right. Like traditional, like from the earth corn. That's huge, by the way, mind you. Like for those of you who don't know, look up Peruvian corn. It's massive. And then like the combination of flavors. And then if you ever just like go to Peru and order a leche de tigre, like it's like a huge copa del juguito y no sé, a variety of fish, but it's
Like
so
mixto?
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. Like, so I love Mexican ceviche and I love sushi, like sashimi, like real good stuff. I feel like a good Peruvian ceviche like tops both of them.
And they say it's a cure for resaca. Like they say it's a cure for like hangovers, altitude sickness, everything. Like it's immediately it'll cure you.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it works.
Amazing. So you did that with Becky. You guys cooked ceviche.
Yeah, we did. That was
Or
really
made ceviche. 'Cause you know what I mean.
We made ceviche. They already kind of like supplied the ingredients for us, and we just kind of like our little job was to show how we put it together. And it was good. You gotta eat ceviche with like a spoon though, because you want to get that all the leche de tigre possible in the spoon.
Oh man.
But if you're looking for like a spot to get it here, I have a few recommendations too in LA.
I'm gonna need that.
I've discovered a few. I mean, like honestly, the best is my uncle's, but like I don't know if he's having people over anytime soon.
Have your uncle come through. Do you have his number right now?
Oh my God, I do.
Call-
Dio
Yo, we got a
Carlos.
full kitchen. You know, what is it? What do you need? We got
He'll make like a huge thing too, because like we eat. So yeah, it's awesome when he's able to do that.
Oh no, that's so my favorite restaurant like of like anywhere in the world is in Miami. It's
Osaka?
It's called Ceviche 105.
Ceviche 105, yeah,
It's
I'm
so
familiar.
good.
Have you been to Doctor Limon?
I have not.
Go to Doctor Limon. I know the dueña, uno de los dueños del restaurante, and it's so good. Like they have
man.
everything, like causa de todo, like atún, whatever you want. Like they have this delicious ceviche frito, like ceviche frito balls, and it's literally just fried ceviche.
I've never had ceviche frito.
So good. And their jugo de maracuyá frozen is super good too. You just gotta order everything there. It's so good. That'll be an experience that you're gonna feel like, oof, that was an experience, right?
Man,
yeah.
man. You
I love food.
I love food, man. I
Go to Osaka. You been to Osaka?
I've not been to Osaka.
Go to Osaka. It's the perfect Japanese Peruvian fusion. Like if we're talking Nobu, which everybody loves, they're like eating Nobu like every day, talking about it's so good and whatever. But Osaka's like super good. Anything you order there is amazing. When my friend Anthony Ramos was filming in Peru, he was like, "You got any spots to recommend?" I was like, Osaka. That's my favorite spot.
So is Osaka a chain? Do they have different
yeah, so
restaurants?
I think they have a few locations, but the ones that I know of is Miami and Peru. The ones
Okay.
that are near us.
All right, man, I gotta make that happen. Oh man, let's go to Miami, guys.
Let's go to Miami.
Oh man. All right. So anyway, the reason why we brought up ceviche and cooking and Becky, is that she's been on the show and she's talked about. We had this like food detour for a second. No. I'm just saying here in the right now in the conversation.
I
Yes.
was like, with Becky.
We
Okay.
had this food detour. No, with Becky, you know, she was on the show and she was saying that she's 200%. She's 100% Latina and 100% American.
Period. I love that.
And she, so usually it's like, oh, you're 50-50. She's like, no, I'm 100% American. I'm 100% Latina. You know, that's what she says. Hence the 200%. So I feel like that's how very similar vibe that I get from you too is. And I remember when we first connected on the carpet, like you just gave me like just cool ass vibes. And I was like, oh, she's cool. Cause like, you know, you have a lot of people that walk in and it's just a different vibe. We did the it was the Latin American Music Awards.
Yeah.
And you know, we get a lot of Latin artists and you gave me very like LA like Latino vibe, and that we like spoke the same language. I felt, because for the most part I was doing my interviews and we're talking to some peeps and it was in Spanish and it's very very Spanish broadcasting style.
It feels a little different, yeah.
And then like you came on and you're just like, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, she's dope. I like her. She's super chill.
I was sober too. I was just like trying to make the most out of it. I was trying to make the most out of it. I really was. And like, you could tell initially you walk up to somebody and it's like, okay, will they reciprocate this energy or not? And then you notice right away, you're like, okay, cool. And like, you definitely reciprocated the same energy. So it was like, it was nice. It was refreshing. Definitely one of my favorite interviews of that day for sure.
Checks in the mail.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'll send you an Osaka sashimi platter.
I'm dead. Make sure it's like like right away.
Overnight,
right?
Overnight iced.
Iced for sure.
Dry ice. Make sure it arrives cool because it's fish,
It's so good, dude. Osaka. I'm hungry.
So, Becky, have you guys talked about like making music together yet?
Oh my God, yeah. We've talked about it. I guess I just like haven't really thought about doing collaborations and I haven't really done any yet. I mean, other than maybe just for fun with my friends. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the time where I feel like I have a song in mind that I feel like she'd really enjoy, I would have no hesitation to present it to her because she's just always down. Like, she's always down.
Yeah.
And really sweet. Like, she loves my family and like she's super sweet to my mom and like, I don't know. She's just one of those people that it's easy to pretend you care, but like it's another thing to actually act like you care.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like there's also a lot of personalities, similarities within your personalities.
I agree. Yeah, we were on the show. We were just saying, now that you've seen us in the same room, now we're not the same person. We're two separate people.
Wait, do you guys get that a lot?
We look alike. We do. I mean, like half of my tagged photos are Becky G, and there's people tagging me. Or like, for example, there was like a time where I was going to the after party of Sicario, I think, after the movie premiered.
Yeah.
And I was, people wait outside and they have the pictures and I was like down, I was signing them. And as I was walking in, I saw one picture and it was like of Becky G. And I said, yeah, that's not me. And they were like, oh, and I signed it anyway. I was just like, whatever.
Becky
G. In terrible handwriting. Yeah, I told her that one too. She was dead. Yeah, so we definitely get that a lot. And then the similar personalities things too, because I think we're both like really short, so we compensate and have like huge personalities, right?
Yeah. No, super cool vibes for sure. Thanks. Both of you. What do you feel is next in your music career? What do you think is that next step for you?
Well, I'm just trying to release more music. I have songs that I've written, like songs as emotional and as heartfelt as Perfidia, with lyrics with depth. But I also have like really fun bangers that like I wrote really fast that have no really
like deep
just
meaning.
Kind of no like deep meaning, but it's just a good time.
Good energy.
I just want to release and just enjoy, the fact that my fans will find me, right? They'll find me through hopefully my music. And I've already kind of met people who only heard my song and never really seen a movie of mine. So it's like, wow. That's cool. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. The emotional side, do you feel like it's easy or it's tough for you to write those like deep songs?
I feel like it's easier to write deeper songs than it is to write like what we consider pop lyrics nowadays. It's almost like I'm inclined to like write in a poetic tone. However, any songwriter will tell you the key to writing a quote unquote smash is like not thinking about the lyrics too much and kind of just throwing out whatever it is that you think of at the top of your head. And I'm like, I can't do that. I overthink everything. Like, are you telling me I don't have to think about it? Like a song that I'm writing and put my name on it? Like, that's crazy. So, I do have my homies that I like to write with. Ale Alberti, for example, she's amazing. Like, she gets me. I've gone into many sessions and let's say I invited a writer that I admire or something and they just take over the session. And I'm like, I invited you. Why you talking over me? And so, but with writers like Ale, writers like Maya, my friend, like they both will just step aside and kind of be like, if I need help, they'll help me out. If I get frustrated, they'll be like, this word rhymes with fun. And I'll be like, you're right, let me add that into it. But they're not ever trying to step on my toes. And
Nice.
they themselves are amazing artists as they are like individually. So it's like, I like those collaborations because when you start writing by yourself and keep writing by yourself, there's a tendency that all your songs sound the same. It's like almost like there's an inability to like try something new because you know what you like, you know the certain melodies, and all of a sudden you're hearing a new song by the same artist, and it's like it sounds like the same song. Why your bridge sound like your pre-chorus in the other song? And it's like I don't ever want to get to that point. So I'm open to like working with other people and collaborating like that. I think it's nice.
Nice. You don't want a Lil Jon it.
Little
Right?
John, yeah.
It's like dun 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 dun, and then it's like dun 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 dun. It's like, bro, you did the exact same thing. All the songs sound the same, but Lil Jon songs are bangers.
Right,
though.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I think that's iconic. I just personally, for me, I just want everything. I get bored, right? I get bored of the same thing, doing the same thing. So
For sure.
yeah, that's kind of my goal with that.
I love that. Shout out to Lil Jon though.
Shout out Lil Jon.
You know, I was listening to what is it?
Period.
To the window, to the wall. So
Yeah.
it's like I just found it. You know, like when you're
Piece of art right there.
right,
for
like
sure.
369. Damn, she fine. One more time. Get low.
Get low.
Pure poetry.
Right, and
its
that
finest.
you know how long it probably took him to write it? Like 2 minutes. He was probably like, yeah, to the window, to the wall, and then let me be till the sweat dripped down my. like you don't. I don't think he sat there for days thinking about that. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. All
what
the
if it took-
smashes, you don't think about it.
But what if it took him like months? Right?
That would
It's
be
like, man,
amazing.
what does my sweat drip down? I don't know. I have this
man.
writer's block, man. And then it finally came to him.
Right, and I was also thinking about Fergie. Like, her bars are crazy because she's like, you so 2000 late. I'm so 2008. I'm like, period. There's so much depth to that, but you know she just said it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you're saying those sometimes are a little more
Difficult.
challenging.
Challenging, for sure. Like, I just in everyday life, I think about things before I speak. And I think about things when I'm not speaking. So
Yeah.
it's like, how am I just going to speak? You know?
yeah.
So, you know, a little liquid courage sometimes helps.
When it comes to your music reflecting your true life, talking about emotions, do you feel like you have to take care of your mental health as you're writing this music, or is writing music part of taking care of your mental health?
Exactly. I think writing music is part of taking care of your mental health, for sure. I mean, when it does happen for me, like when I do get that stroke of inspiration somehow, like it's almost as though you start with one idea and then all of a sudden it's like I have to keep like writing these down because the thoughts are coming over me, and it's something you can't really control or stop. So in those instances, yes, it is like it comes to you in the moment and I don't overthink it, but still it's like about stuff that's not really like to the window, to the wall. Like it's definitely depressing. And maybe that's the kind of artist I am, but I also I like to be able to just, to write fun songs, because that's what I like to listen to.
How do you take care of your mental health?
How do I take care of my mental health? I guess I go to therapy, right? Like
Same.
I have hella anxiety and that's really fun, but I think I was in denial of it. I was kind of like under the impression that anxiety is this thing that, I don't know. I think like in the Latin community, we don't really talk a lot about mental health, and it's like your parents are like, no, you're fine. Like you don't need to take medicine. Like, and you're living like undiagnosed and like just messing up your life and the people around you. And it's really scary. And like, I think it's important to, address that, go to therapy. I think therapy would save a lot of people's lives. A lot of
Yeah.
your parents too. A lot of the parents out there, they haven't had therapy their whole lives. And I feel like just one session would be phenomenal and life-changing. But I love therapy. I mean, I studied psychology for like 2 years in school, and then I just kind of acting took off, and so I didn't really
Wow.
have time, but I would love to get back into it because it fascinated the hell out of me. So
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us too. Yeah, I started doing therapy during quarantine. I was always like a mental health advocate, but like I didn't really start doing it until like we were trapped in our homes, And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and it's definitely one of the best things that I've ever done. And now, speaking about our parents, my mom is wanting to do therapy. She's interested now,
Awesome.
and like, I feel like in my immediate family, there's no one that would benefit more. Maybe my father too, but than my mom. And it's beautiful to see that. She's open to it, and now my sister started doing therapy, and it's
that's
a great thing.
Your whole family is just getting into it. That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's life-changing. It's changing, and it's as simple as like talking about it or just telling your friends, like,
Yeah.
therapy's really great. It's been changing my life. Like, if you're going through something, you should get a therapist. You should consider that. Like, I'll even like be in the middle of a conversation with somebody and I'm arguing. Let's say we're arguing, right? And at some point I'm like, wait, we're arguing about things that are kind of like a result of our past traumas and fears. And we're reacting to it in kind of like a defensive way because
Right.
it's triggering something. Let's just talk to our therapist and then come back to this. Like, this is gonna be unproductive if we can't see the bigger picture.
Yep.
And I've done that countless times with my mom, with my girlfriend, like with my friends. Like, it's just, it's a good thing to be able to realize, like, I don't know, like sometimes you don't know. And a lot of people that refuse therapy or get mad at me when I say that they should have therapy, it's like they almost have this mentality that like, I've been alone this whole time and I've been fine. So I'm gonna keep being alone and I'll be okay. I've always had my back. Me has always had my back.
Yep.
And I'm like, but you don't have to. Like, that's a whole lot of weight to put on yourself. So I don't know. Like, I think therapy is fantastic. I really do. Yeah, and it's something I've been thinking about. And then I'm so close to my therapist at this point. I'm talking about philosophy with her. Like,
That's awesome.
it's like we kind of go off topic a lot, but it still helps me because I have these like thought spirals that I can't really like control that just kind of go everywhere. And suddenly I'm in a daze and my friends catch me like just staring, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm thinking about like death. And they're like, whoa.
Right.
I'm like, dead ass though. Like, it's crazy. And I think it's important to have those conversations more than anything.
Does it come out of nowhere? Like, do these feelings come out of nowhere for you? Because the reason why I ask that is I get anxiety and sometimes, like depression too. And it hits me almost out of nowhere sometimes. Like, I've compared it to like the way Spider-Man has his Spidey sense, where it's just like, whoa, what the hell is that? And
Right.
I mean, I talk about, I've learned that a lot of it is burnout. Like, what happens with me is burnout. Like, I get so tired that my body's just like reacting to it being tired, and like mentally and physically tired.
Yeah. Oof. I think it's a combination of things. I think people take sleep for granted. I think sleep is like the main contributor to my anxiety, or lack of sleep, I mean, is the main contributor to my anxiety. Also sleeping habits, it doesn't matter if you get a lot of sleep. If your circadian rhythm's off, that's going to mess you up. And that's something I need to work on as well. And I'm trying, but at times, many nights I would just stay awake. I would put my phone away and I just kind of sit there for hours and just think about things. And then at a certain point, when my mind was like, when my body was like, yo, are you asleep? It would start twitching to check on like it was like my brain was checking with my body. Are you still sleeping? So my body would start twitching. And then all of a sudden I was like having these really uncontrollable like twitches. And then it continued. Like, I couldn't sleep for much longer because all of a sudden I was like, I need to like take a shower or something because I can't, like, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. And it was like things just kind of escalated, and to a certain point where I just, I finally was diagnosed with anxiety, and I had already had the panic attacks. I just still thought, I was like, this is normal. You just have a lot of pressure on you and like whatever. And then, you know, that out of nowhere thing, I don't think that's true. I think it really is like a series of events and maybe things that have bothered us, but we don't acknowledge them and we don't take the time to sit with them and be like, why did this bother me? Okay, this maybe didn't bother me, but what happened before that bothered me that allowed this thing to bother me more than it would have?
Yep.
So it's like, it's taking the time to go over your thought processes that you had earlier in the day. And that's when you'll realize what's bothering you. And that's why therapy is so helpful, because they walk you through that.
Right.
And all of a sudden you're able to have this open conversation and communication with the people who supposedly maybe saw that bad side of you because you were triggered or whatever.
Right. I I often think about, you know, the when I'm in a very tough space, I think about if I was always, if those feelings were always in me, or if they arrived in the last few years, like come like quarantine pandemic time. But the reality is they've always been there. I'm just aware, right? Like there were certain ways, certain things that anxiety, which I wasn't aware that it was there, it would come out in different ways, right? Like maybe I would raise my voice, you know, maybe I would go about things differently, you know? But now I feel like I'm allowing myself to feel. I'm allowing myself to just be more open to what my mind and my body are telling me. And it is tough. It's tough to like do the work, but it's all in the reason to become a better person and a better you.
Right. Like I guess recently I heard, you know, life just gets harder and harder. And I was like, interesting. Like, that sucks. And then I kind of like what I normally do when I hear something that kind of affects me in a certain way, I think about it for nonstop until I found what I call a solution. And I figured out, you know, the people who are saying life sucks maybe didn't learn or weren't handed the tools to deal with how shitty life can get. Let's say you were coddled your whole life. You didn't really live a difficult life. Maybe you don't know how to do your laundry. Maybe you don't know how to do the dishes because your mommy always did them for you, or maybe your maids did them for you, right? So then you're put in a situation where, you know, you have these regular things that people who I guess like have been taught those things have to deal with and had to deal with, and you're thrown into this situation where you have to do your laundry, you have to do whatever, and you have to work, and you have to go to college. All of a sudden that feels huge.
Right.
So for me, life gets harder is just a phrase said from a different perspective. So you just have to understand, if I can attack this problem head on and go through it, I will have the tools to deal with this BS later in life. And it's not gonna be harder, it's gonna be easier. So I don't think life gets harder. I think we just get better at dealing with things and the tools. We get better at gathering tools and adding tools to our toolbox that we have. And then suddenly it's easy.
Yeah, like Bob the Builder style.
Right, Bob the Builder. Like Bob the Builder is a great example. Great show.
Can we fix it?
Yes, we can.
You know? No, thank you for sharing that with me. You know, I like to talk about that on the show because, you know, a lot of our guests that we have, you know, are very successful, very talented, and often, you know, people see a public figure and think, man, what worries do they have? They're rich and they're famous and they're this and they're that.
Right.
But the reality is like, yo, we're all human at the end of the day.
Yeah, I will say like if you think any celebrity is more special than you are, you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. We're just handed different cards in life, maybe. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, they're just people, and they're just regular. I promise you, if you hold them to a certain standard, you'll be disappointed. Because we're just people.
Yeah, I love that. You know, we talk about celebrities. Obviously, you're around a lot. Being in acting, being in, you know, your craft, also multi-talented over here. You know, being on the screen and having these big films that you've been a part of. I watched Dora,
Nice.
which was awesome.
That's funny
I watched
movie.
I watched Dora in the theater, bro.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow. I guess me too, but that was the premiere.
And you killed that. You killed that. I mean, all the
Thanks.
films that you've done.
Thanks.
Is there a film that you feel is a little more special than others for you?
Yeah, Instant Family was a great experience for me. And I think, I saw the direct result of the change and impact it had on people's lives. Like, I got several messages through my mom from her friends and like from people I knew who were like, this movie inspired me to adopt, and we're adopting. And then they'll send updates because it's been years now, and they'll say, however many years together thanks to this movie that you were a part of. So it's crazy seeing a direct change like that from a project that you did that lasted 2-3 months that you happened to book by chance. So it's just amazing. And I had a great experience because of the cast, because of the director, Sean Anders. That's his story pretty much with his wife and his kids. And I think, the best art comes from making it for yourself, right? So Sean definitely did that for himself and then ended up changing people's lives in the process, because there's nothing truer than your own experience. So I think it was a beautiful, beautiful project. And there's a project that I'm doing right now. I'm shooting in April, mid-April. I'm going to go to Cincinnati, Ohio, and shoot this movie. It's called Turtles All the Way Down, based on the book by John Green. And that's a huge, conversation starter on mental health and mental health awareness. And, I've seen quite a few, adolescent films, right, made for, teens recently that have to do with mental health. And I think this one is very real because, again, it's John Green's experience with his anxiety and OCD and his thought spirals. And the reason it's called Turtles All the Way Down is because it's based on I guess this story of this philosopher, this scientific philosopher who was speaking of the universe and how we were all created and the gravitational pull of everything being brought together and how it's infinite. And then he's giving this lecture, and all of a sudden, at the middle of the lecture, this lady stands up and she's like, "Excuse me, professor, but you're wrong. The world was not created by the Big Bang. And he's like, okay, sure. Then how was it created? Where are we? What are we? She's like, the world is on the back of a giant turtle. And he's like, okay, and then what's under that? And she's like, another turtle. And he's like, okay, then what's under that? She's like, another turtle. And then there's another turtle. It's turtles all the way down. And It's crazy to me because it not only speaks of our experiences and how if you were to say something and I disagreed, I would be right. Right? In my mind, I'm right. And in my world, in my universe that I created, I'm right. So it's and then it also attributes to the character's thought spirals. She just keeps going down, 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 down until it just continues and it never ends, just like the universe. So it's going to be one of those hard-hitting, emotional, take a minute to look at yourself in the mirror afterwards type of movies. Yeah.
And is that going to release 2022 or?
No, I'm actually about to go film it.
Oh,
but
you
can read the book if you'd like. The book is crazy. It's phenomenal.
I'm going to wait for the movie.
You're gonna wait for the movie?
Yeah. I'm not big on books.
Me neither.
Yeah. No, but that sounds like a good one.
It hits.
Yeah. And there, we've had guests on that shoot me text messages with yo man, I know we talked about this. Check out this book. Check out that book. So I'm not a big reader, but I am a big audiobook fan.
Love that. I love audiobooks too. I love podcasts. So yeah, podcast
Mando
audiobooks.
Friends being one of your favorites, right? I knew it.
I'm gonna be adding it for sure.
You know what? I read you right here. Speaking of films, you're doing Father of the Bride.
It's like a remake.
Yeah, that's dope.
I just watched it actually for the first time, and that was cool. I think it really captures that nostalgic, yet it came out this year, yet you cry, and it's a funny experience, and it's all fluid, and I think it's going to translate really well to audiences. And the testing for audiences has gone amazing. And then I got to work with Gloria Stefan and Andy Garcia, and Gloria's amazing. She's genuinely a great person.
Legends.
Right. But it's like when you meet her, it's like she's so down to earth
Yeah.
and so cool and so silly and inappropriate, quite vulgar. Quite vulgar.
You know what? I wouldn't think that about Gloria Estefan being
she's
like
as vulgar as they come.
inappropriate or vulgar.
Right. But she's like a down ass girl. Like
Yeah.
she's definitely, she keeps it real. And then you see her, because I now am friends with her daughter, Emily.
Yeah.
And you see her as a mother, and then you're like, damn, like, I'm kind of, damn, adopt me, please. Like, Emilio, too, he's like a teddy bear. He reminds me of like a koala. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's like the roles are reversed.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd love to. We're in talks to have Gloria on the show. She seems super cool. And like I said, music icon.
Right. Right. I mean, like one of the first to do it. One of the first Latinas to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah, man. You were born in Ohio. Mm-hmm. Came to LA at what age?
Like 2019? Yeah.
Oh, so recent.
Yeah, recently.
Man.
I lived in Cleveland for a while, so it's like I just kind of only went and left Ohio when I had to like film something,
Wow.
and nothing really films in LA anymore. So whenever I was in town, and like for the example for the llamas, I think, when was that? I think it was
2019.
2019. I had just moved here, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. But it's cool.
No, I love that. So we have these rapid fire with Isabela Merced. That's you.
Okay, period. Yes, that's me. That's me, right? Okay.
Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready.
Favorite Spanish word?
Melocotón.
What is it?
Melocotón.
Melocoton?
Melocotón. Yeah, it means peach.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a fun word. Say it really fast.
Melocotón.
Melocotón.
And then especially since you're saying it like that, I'm like, melocoton. It reminds me of melaluca. You know what that is?
No, I don't. Is that a candy?
Melaluca is like a neosporin.
¿Qué cosa?
See, you know what Neosporin is?
Yeah, I know what Neosporin is.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
just
I think it's a Mexican brand. So
okay.
That's what it reminded me
Okay.
of. Melocoton.
Yes.
Salsa or merengue?
Salsa. I know how to dance salsa more than merengue.
Favorite piece of technology that you use?
Probably my phone. Yeah.
Favorite Latino food dish? I think we already talked about this. Unless it's not.
Latino food dish? Dude. It's just like you can't have ceviche every day, because then maybe you can actually. I have done that.
It's healthy too.
I have done that. Okay, ceviche.
What kind?
Ceviche pescado.
De pescado.
Yeah.
Peruano, of course.
Peruano,
Right?
yeah. El estilo peruano.
Best song to play at a party?
Best song to play at a party? Ooh, okay. I've been really feeling Baby Powder by Genevieve.
Okay.
Lately, listen to it. It's a banger.
Baby Powder by Genevieve. Mm-hmm. I gotta check that out.
It's really groovy, really funky.
Greatest rapper of all time?
Greatest rapper of all time?
All time, Isa.
Pitbull.
Wow. Wait, Pitbull's awesome.
Mr. 305.
Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide now.
His music just speaks to me.
I love it. Pitt is underrated. He was killing it for many years.
Like, he started a lot. Like, Timber, I'm yelling Timber.
Shouts to Pitt, man. Pitt's the guy. Greatest singer of all time?
Greatest singer of all time? Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah.
Like, crazy. Like, I feel like her and Whitney Houston were the ones who kind of taught me how to sing, because I would just sit in my room at like 6 years old trying to imitate every single fluctuation in their voices and like
Man.
tone and riff. And so, yeah.
Speaking of tone, you know that tone that you use on Perfidia?
Perfidia. Yeah.
That tone that you use, man. Have you done that on any other song that you've recorded?
Yeah, there's
have.
a song that I have. It's called Lo que no hicimos, and it's bolero, like it's bolero inspired, and it's It's super classic, kind of. Like, I could sing a little bit of it. Si tú quieres, si yo quiero y lo sentimos, parecemos par de idiotas confundidos. Imagínalo, si intentamos de una vez lo que no hicimos.
Man, can we clap it up? That is amazing, man.
Too much.
I love that. I love that. I would give you a standing ovation, but then the camera would lose me.
And this would just...
Yeah, but just pretend I just didn't.
Thank you.
Lastly, what's a nickname of yours that no one really knows about?
When I'm like with my girlfriend and like if I like a sassy side of me comes out, she calls me Isabela. Isabela.
Isabela.
Isabela, yes. And then Yolanda's like when I'm drinking legally in Peru. And when I'm drinking legally in Peru, a side of me comes out. Her name is Yolanda. Yolanda like is not afraid of anything. Yeah. Yolanda also doesn't get hurt. Like I've fallen a lot and like not a bruise, not a scratch, not anything.
She's made of
I don't know.
Diamond.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yolanda also dances a lot. I don't know her, honestly. I don't know her.
And Yolanda's your middle name.
Yes.
Yeah. Isabela.
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 Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to Mando and Friends. We appreciate you so much. Your good vibes and you know, since day one. And I know that your aura, your star, your brand, your person is just gonna continue to grow.
Appreciate it.
And shine bright.
I can't wait to update with you and like, have a little reunion every year or so. It'd be great.
This is your home.
Thank you.
Hubwave is your home, and if we move to a bigger space, and that's gonna be your home.
Awesome. Period.
Right? Just continued growth.
Thank you.
An abundance of amazing things. No, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Isabela,
so sweet.
Merced, thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching Mando and Friends presented by Verizon.